Everyone, I'm Sandy Paletta. My husband Gary and I own Edgewood Bakery. Edgewood Bakery has been here in Jacksonville for 64 years. We're on the corner of Edgewood and Post in the Murray Hill, Riverside, Avondale area. We're delighted to have expanded this year also, along with our bakery. Of course, we are also a cafe for breakfast and lunch, catering, banquet hall here on the premise, and of course our newest addition, which is the bistro. Since the holidays are here, this is really our season to shine. Of course, along with all the other regular things that we do on a daily basis, such as our award-winning Danish, all of our pastries, coffee cakes, breads, cookies, and wedding cakes. We also do the different holiday items like the fruit cakes and the stolons, the panettone, all the other little specialty cookies, all the tea cookies for our cookie trays. We do a lot of shipping for companies of cookies and cakes. And of course, our newest addition, along with the bistro, is our new website with our online shipping so that we can ship cakes and cookies and pastries across the country for you. The cake that we're doing today is a ginger pear cake. This is a wonderful way to highlight the flavors of the season. And right now, with us going into Thanksgiving, Christmas, the spice cakes, you always think about those being more so in the autumn. So this is a perfect way to combine a lot of different flavors, and also a very light cake when it comes right down to it. These are the ingredients for the ginger pear cake. We have our ginger cake with split layers. We have our toasted walnuts. We have our whipped cream. We have our whipped cream folded with chopped pears, our pear juice condensed to be a little bit more of a simple syrup, and caramel for additional garnish. And of course, if you want to make this a little bit healthier, you can go ahead and use applesauce instead of your oil, or substitute at least part of it. Experiment with it a little bit. You might have to add a little bit more of your baking powder to it. Soda spreads, powder puffs. So in the cake here, if you use a little bit more baking powder, if you substitute the applesauce, which is a little bit heavier, you can get just as much volume out of it. You just need to experiment with a little bit. So we have our cake here. We have a little bit of the pear juice that we have actually condensed down a little bit, and all you're going to do is just a little brushing. If you notice, it's not too thick. You don't want it to be a heavy sugar layer in there, and that's all you need. And this is where we're going to do our circle around of the whipped cream to hold the filling in. We have our chopped pears and whipped cream that we've combined together. We folded them together, and we're actually going to take that and spread those between the layers. The next layer we're actually going to put face down is going to give you a flatter surface in order to do your next ring on. When you have a bag, whether it's whipped cream or buttercream, you don't want to try to hold it up here. It's too hard to control. What you want to do is get at least halfway down, 2 fingers on here if you need to, and you are going to keep your tip up close to whatever surface you are and do it that way. See, you have a lot more control on it that way, just like if you're writing. If you keep your fingers there, here you can get a shaky wrist. Here, you can have a steady wrist. Now the pastry bags like this, you can also get at any of the craft stores, Joann's, Michael's. Online, of course, there's a lot of wonderful pastry sites too. Or you can actually use a freezer Ziploc bag, put your tip in, cut off one of the corners, and use it that way and just throw it away then. Again, that wonderful filling, it's nice, it's light. The pears that we've used for this are actually either poached pears, or you can use canned pears. Just make sure they are well drained so they don't dilute your whipped cream. We're going to take the next cut bottom, press that down lightly to adhere everything, and then another ring, some more of this fabulously flavorful whipped cream and pears. And then this one, we are going to finish it off by having the crusted side up. You want to do that because otherwise, if you're icing it with your whipped cream, you might be picking up too much crumbs if you actually do the cut side up on top. Give it a little snug, a little hug there. Now we're going to be ready to start icing it. The secret to icing a cake, whether you're using a whipped cream or you're using a buttercream, is you need to put a lot on. It's easier to put it on and take it off than trying to keep going back over and over and over again. Now this cake is going to have the toasted walnuts on the side, so the cake does not have to be perfect because you're actually going to be covering the sides of the cake. However, you want the cake to be straight to make sure that you don't have any sliding. And you want to make sure that you have enough whipped cream on it, because whipped cream is good. And a secret of the trade here is we actually have what we call a hand spatula. Going right around the side and getting that nice and high. Then we're going to take our top, pull it into the center, lightly touching the edge, then pulling it in. A little spackle if you need it. Now this one has kind of a crown, and I don't want to crown it too much because we're going to top it with some more of our pear and whipped cream mixture. Make sure that everything is pretty looking. You're going to want to toast your walnuts because it's going to add more flavor to them. And you're going to take a handful, gently press it up. And as you see, it's very easy. You don't want to press in too hard. You don't want to move your whipped cream too much. And of course, walnuts, pecans are wonderful for you. Now we're going to start finishing it off. What we're going to do is we're going to make rosettes, which is actually keeping your tip down in, just like that. Now we're going to take the rest of our pear mixture with the whipped cream. Going to mound that right in the middle, almost like a little snow cap. We're then going to take a few slices of our pears, and we're going to put those right on top. We're going to take some of our caramel because it's a beautiful way to finish off, and we're just going to give it just a decadent little drizzle right over the top. And then the toasted walnuts all the way around, so when you cut it, everybody has a portion of walnuts on the side and the top. Now, of course, using whipped cream instead of buttercream is definitely going to lighten the calories. You have a wonderful fruit, and of course you can use the sugar-free pears, or just steam a little bit of the pears and fold it in with the whipped cream. Now we can finish it off in the middle. Now this would be a wonderful centerpiece for your holiday table, and of course you can go through all the steps and do this yourself, have a wonderful sense of accomplishment, or you can make your life easy and come to Edgewood Bakery and we'd be delighted to do it for you.